Ikväll vi har en viktig gäst. Cindy, I've just explained a little about the fact that the Friends of Iraq in Spain were able at the last minute to go to court and present a case to demand that the 4 last American presidents, including Obama, and the 4 British prime ministers should be charged for war crimes and genocide against the people of Iraq. This question of war criminals is rather important, and I wanted to tell you that 2 years ago I had the opportunity of being in Oslo, together with someone else who was here, at an international conference on education, and we were brought out to a lecture by the head of the Nobel Committee, who we listened to for an hour and a half, who explained to us how important it was, the whole process of picking the Nobel laureate, and how important it was that this contributed to the peace process. And I, of course, took the chance to ask the first question and said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. You seem to have been a few times giving this peace prize to war criminals that you wanted to share with people who were... And I suggested, it was a rather large meeting, that instead of trying to get war criminals and the victims to cooperate, perhaps it was better to recognize the efforts of peoples who cooperated for peace. For example, I said, you could give it to Iman Kadas, who at that time was the head of Human Rights Watch in Baghdad and represented the brave women of Iraq. And I suggested that she could share it with Cindy Sheehan, who represented the brave women of the anti-war movement, who together are unrelenting in continuing their struggle against the occupation and the crimes. And he answered me very shortly. He said, "That's not the way we work." And I said, well, there's something you don't understand. That is the way we work. We call it solidarity. That's what it's all about. Peoples in different countries uniting to support the victims and their right to freedom and independence and against foreign occupation. Iman Kamas has been here and spoke at RBF. We've had that pleasure. She's been here twice. Cindy, we've tried and hoped for 2 years, but she's very busy. She's constantly demonstrating, getting arrested, and to find time in her busy schedule, she's coming straight from Washington, chained to the White House gate, to share with us some of her views on the continued fight for peace. And I know Cindy would say she doesn't care about peace prizes. What she's really interested in is peace itself. And that's exactly what the people, and as I said, the brave women of Iraq, who are bearing really the heavy brunt of this struggle to protect their freedom. It's a great pleasure for us here to welcome Cindy Sheehan to Stockholm. Cindy?
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thanks, Mike, and the Iraq. What's the name of your group? Solidarity. When I'm in the States, I always joke around, and wherever I am, I always say, "Thank you, Cleveland," because I usually have no idea where I am. It's starting to really look like everywhere I go is the same place. You know, sometimes there's just some distinctive marks that make me think it's someplace else. So, I hope everybody can understand me.
We will summarize afterwards in Swedish.
They will summarize afterwards in Swedish. And if you don't speak English, you didn't understand what I said. So, this is Thursday. I was surprised to find out. And Monday, which just seemed like 2 days ago to me, we did have a large anti-Afghanistan demonstration in front of the White House. Well, it wasn't really large. There was about 500 or 600 people. But trust me, for a Monday morning, and with the mood of the so-called anti-war movement in America, it was a large demonstration. And I always do air quotes. You know that what that means. It means allegedly or whatever. But now I'm a radio hostess. I have a radio show, so I can't do air quotes. So now I say so-called. And you'll see me go so-called. That's just because that's what I'm used to. So so-called anti-war movement. That was Monday. I was flying here on Tuesday. I thought my flight was at 6 a.m. So I was, dang it, I can't get arrested because who knows, I might not be out of jail by 6 a.m. But then I found out it was 6 p.m. I'm like, right on, now I can get arrested because I'm pretty sure I'll be out by 6 o'clock the next evening. And so I did chain myself to the White House with another peace activist, not the White House, the fence, and with another peace activist, because just because there's a change in administration in America doesn't mean that there's been a change in policy. As a matter of fact, the people who supported Obama, I never supported Obama's candidacy for president. I didn't support him because I promised that I would never support another candidate.
It's okay.
Keep distracting me, and then I'll never remember what I'm going to say. I promised after John Kerry in 2004 that I would never support another candidate who promised more war, or who didn't promise to get us out of, extricate us from the wars we were in. So I supported the Green Party candidate, Cynthia McKinney, because her platform was the same platform as mine. But unfortunately, many people in the so-called anti-war movement, I'm just going to say anti-war movement, and you guys put so-called in there, put your own air quotes. The anti-war movement in America, many people did support Obama. And you know why they supported Obama? Because he was better than Bush. You know what? I have a hangnail on my baby toe that's better than Bush. So what kind of standards does that show in America? You know, we had the worst president in American history. But he was just the worst out of many bad ones. You know, the Oval Office has been inhabited by a rogues gallery of scoundrels. You know, so to say that George Bush was the worst, that's saying something.